Alrighty guys, welcome back to your NXT review, or as I like to call it, watch a couple of clips from YouTube because I don't have time to sit and watch through 2 hours of garbage. But anyway, I don't normally review NXT, I normally just review Raw, SmackDown and the odd time AEW. But I thought, you know what, we'll check out some things that happened in NXT here. We'll see if any of the stuff was good or not. And I was actually pleasantly surprised by what I seen. So it wasn't as bad as I was expecting. I think we kicked off with Leon Ruff versus Ia Swerve Scott, a Falls Count Anywhere match that I had no interest in watching, so we didn't watch that. We skipped that. Goddamn right. Then we had Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano. I believe they're called the Way. Shit name, by the way, for a team, but it is what it is. So they barge into William Regal's office, and he's sitting there with Scarlett Bordeaux. And this was actually a pretty funny segment. But I just want to say, I think Scarlett Bordeaux looked a hell of a lot better as the smoke show on TNA. I don't really like her new look, this look she's got in NXT. Maybe it goes more with her character, but I definitely think she suited her look better in TNA. But you know what? It is what it is. So Scarlett is talking with William Regal. Who knows what was happening between those two before the Way busted in, but they bust in. Johnny Gargano seems pissed off that he has to defend his title next week, so I don't really know what's happening because I don't watch NXT, but apparently Regal's booked him in a title match. He's not happy about it. He wants to get it changed. Meanwhile, Austin Theory's staring at Scarlett Bordeaux, and he says, then when Gargano leaves, Austin Theory stays behind. He's like, "Are those things real?" You know, he says they're huge. They can't be real, and it seems as if he's actually talking about Scarlett Bordeaux's tits. It really does. But then he says, then he mentions that it's her nails that he's talking about, and that was actually a good segment. And then William Regal's like, "Get out of here." Gargano comes back and goes, "Come on, you can't be touching people," and stuff like that. They then bumped into William Regal later in the show, and William Regal told Austin Theory that, well, first he told Gargano that his match for the NXT North America Championship is still on. And then he told Austin Theory that his new friend Scarlett Bordeaux is getting her husband or whatever to fight him next week. So it's going to be Austin Theory versus Karrion Kross. Now, speaking of Kross, he was up next with Scarlett Bordeaux. I personally am not a big fan of Kross. I've seen people say, "Oh, he's the next big thing. He's this and that." To me, I don't really see much in him. I think the best thing about Kross is the fact that he's married to Scarlett. To me, that's the best thing the guy's got going for him. But he was involved here. He was cutting a promo, and then a bunch of fucking jobbers, some guy, I don't even know his name, came out in a red and black checkered shirt. And then Pete Dunne came out, and Finn Balor came out. And Karrion Kross isn't even a big dude. He's not a giant by any means. But when you see him surrounded by all these wee small men, the guy does legit look huge. But in reality, he's probably about 6'2", 6'3" at the absolute most. And I mean, he's not that in terms of weight. He wouldn't be any more than 250 pounds, but he looks like a giant in NXT because everyone is pretty small. So I don't know. Are they leading up to like a big 5-way match here? I don't know. Speaking of a 5-way, the Way came out in the attack Karrion Kross after he clears the ring of the little midget men, and they do a double super kick and leave Kross laying in the ring. We also had a bunch of other matches. There was Cameron Grimes versus Asher Hale. No interest in that. Tommaso Ciampa and some guy called Timothy Thatcher versus the grizzled young veterans, I think. No idea who that is. There was all the shit that didn't care. Lanite versus Jake Atlas. Lanite must be the worst name ever. Like, what? The night? What the fuck? Crap. With Drew McIntyre. And he wasn't there, but there was a promo with Drew McIntyre talking about his book. If Drew McIntyre's book is anything like his promos on Raw, just don't even bother reading that. Just rip up the pages, or even better yet, burn them, or use them to wipe the shite off your arse, because that would be the best thing I think you could use Drew McIntyre's books for. Unless you buy the audio version, then you're fucked. You just have to listen to it, and there's nothing you can do. You can't escape it. With that new Japanese talent that absolutely nobody cares about. Oh, NXT's got the best women's wrestler for Japan, and I mean, all you can hear is crickets. You know, nobody cares. Speaking of Japan, with another Japanese guy, Kushida, in the ring. No idea who that is. Don't care who that is. And in the main event, we had Blackheart and Ember Moon versus the two female members of the Way. It's Candice LeRae, and I'm not sure who the other person is. This was a NXT Women's Championship street fight. And there was actually a lot of, big spots in this in terms of street fight spots, but these women, they just can't wrestle a street style match. There was no selling really. It was just big spot after big spot after big spot. You look at classic street fights in the past, like Triple H, Cactus Jack, or Triple H, Shawn Michaels. I mean, those guys used to be able to work street fights. These women cannot work street fights. But fair play, because they actually did do. There was quite a lot of big moves, big moments in this match. Moved through ladders, moved through tables. Big spots. But it's madness, because someone will do a big spot, a big dive through the table, and then like 30 seconds later they're up running about at full speed and not even selling it. So personally, I would leave these spots to the men. I still think Trish Stratus versus Victoria had the best street fight I've ever seen for a woman, and it was really basic. And not just because it was the first, but it was a basic, and they made it work. I mean, Trish was selling a kendo shot, a kendo stick shot as if she was about to die, whereas these women are legit doing fucking insane moves, and then 30 seconds later, it's as if nothing happened. So, if they could sell better, if they could work better, then you'd probably, you'd respect the moves more. The moves would make more sense. They'd be more valuable. But at the moment, it's like it's just that they're doing a bunch of high spots and they really mean nothing because they're not selling, they're not reacting the way they should. So I don't know. Shawn Michaels in the NXT, he should be telling these people, like, that's not how you do things. Do it like this. What the fuck's Shawn doing? Must be, maybe he's doing drugs or something. Maybe he's getting back to his old ways, because I doubt he's not training these people correctly. If that's what he's doing, if that's what he's allowing to go out there. But anyway, I mean, this, I'll be honest, it was better than I was expecting. I mean, like I said, the women's match had a lot of cool spots, but overall, I don't think it was a good match because there was no selling. Karrion Kross, I guess, looks alright. Scarlett's hot, but I think she could have been hotter. Well, it's not that I think she could have been hotter. She was hotter in TNA, so I don't know why she doesn't go back to that look. And I actually enjoyed the Regal segment with Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano. So maybe Johnny Gargano's not as bad as I thought he is. Maybe NXT isn't that shite after all. Maybe I'll check out more clips next week, and who knows? Maybe, just maybe it is the best show. I'm always saying it sucks, but in fairness, I don't really watch it, so it's hard to tell. But from what I've seen, from the couple of clips that I did check out, I mean, this was actually alright. I'll give this a 3 out of 10. There you go, 3 out of 10. I normally give every wrestling show a 1, but I'm giving NXT a 3, so you can't ask for any more than that. Anyway, guys, that's it. Till next time. Peace.